one of the top 10 cryptos is dead. The company that issues it and controls it is saying that the market cap is going to continuously go down until it hits zero eventually. And other top 10 cryptos are under fire. We have some cryptos falling pretty drastically on the day. Bitcoin's down 1.4%, but ETH is down 3.2%, BNB is down 6.5%. A lot of cryptos are red because of the news that's just coming in. Now, I don't want to fear monger you at all. We're going to go through it. I'm going to explain exactly what's happening and whether you should be worried or not. And I think there are some key takeaways for this. We're going to talk about how you can keep your crypto safe and how we can keep your wealth safe towards the end of the video. But if you don't mind, hit the subscribe button underneath the video. If you've seen videos like this from me before and you want to see more, hit that subscribe button and turn on that bell notification so you know right when I post a video, because some of this is time sensitive. There's also a link down there to Margex. In case you want to put a small percentage of your crypto on an exchange and trade it, you can try out Margex, but I would suggest keeping the majority on cold storage. Now, as we can see, the whole market's red, down 2.4%. We're right around $1 trillion. Depending on what website you look at, we're actually under $1 trillion. Bitcoin is right back down to the same level that it was a few days ago. You can see we're still holding this 21,500 region as support. But with CPI coming in tomorrow, keep in mind that that is a massive event. We could either see us actually fall down below it and maybe retest something else, maybe 20,500, or we could break right back up to the upside, and then we could all think about this as just part of the past. And if we get some good price action, everyone is bullish again, so keep that in mind. And now we did have some liquidations coming in over the last 24 hours, 122 million, the majority of which are actually coming from Ethereum, hence why Ethereum might be down significantly more than Bitcoin. And compared to some previous days, this is a slightly larger day, but it's not anything massive. About $68 million worth of longs liquidated just yesterday, but some have been rolling in today. Some more have been rolling in this morning. Now, the Digital Asset Fund Flows weekly report shows what large investors are doing, and we did see an outflow for the first time in 4 weeks. Bitcoin had about $11 million worth of outflows. Keep in mind that we've had a lot of money going into Bitcoin, $183 million year to date. We did see some flowing into Ethereum, some coming out of multi-asset, and then some coming out of short Bitcoin. So overall, not a huge week. I think everyone's just calming down a little bit after allocating a lot more towards crypto towards the beginning of the year. A lot of people, a lot of large investors specifically, realized that they weren't long enough. They didn't have enough risk assets, so now they've allocated a little bit more. And until we see some new data come in, they're probably just easing back a little bit. And we'll get to, again, the big news in the top 10 crypto that just died. But we can see that Ethereum Bitcoin chart here. And I've been saying for a while that I really want to buy some Ethereum. But as we start to move up here, as we broke through, I still think that it's a good time to wait a little bit. And we could set another horizontal line right here. This is an important level. As you can see, we used it as support in the past, around 0.067. But I'm really looking to break through this, and especially with the Shanghai upgrade coming up and with some of the news that's coming out right now, I think Ethereum might fall against Bitcoin for a little bit, and I think altcoins will as well. We might see dominance start to creep up even more for Bitcoin, which we're already seeing right now, but I think there's good reason for that. So I'd be on the lookout for this. As I said, I've been looking to add to my ETH bag all bear market, but I've been really careful about adding altcoins, and I really have just added Bitcoin since last year, earlier in the year. So with that in mind, I have reallocated. When I sold some altcoins, I reallocated to Bitcoin, Ethereum, Phantom, and Polygon towards the bottom of the bear market. I sold some cryptos I still had, some small allocations, but any new money is going specifically to Bitcoin, or it's just sitting on the sidelines for now. Now, we did have some big news happen just over the last day. CZ will be walking us through this. In summary, BUSD is issued and redeemed by Paxos, and all funds are safe. But we were informed by Paxos that we have been directed to cease minting new BUSD by the New York Department of Financial Services. Paxos is regulated by them. BUSD is a stablecoin wholly owned and managed by Paxos. Keep in mind, BUSD is the main trading pair on Binance and Binance US, but it's not actually issued by them. As a result, BUSD market cap will only decrease over time. Paxos will continue to service the product and manage redemptions. Paxos also ensured us that all funds are safe and fully covered by reserves in their banks, with the reserves audited many times by various audit firms already. They are audited by one of the top 4 accounting firms. On the alleged SEC versus Paxos lawsuit, I have no information about it other than public news articles. The lawsuit is between the U.S. SEC and Paxos. I'm not an expert in U.S. laws, but personally I agree with Miles' logic here. Miles the Shooter says, the SEC has labeled BUSD an unregistered security and is suing its issuer Paxos. But how on earth is a stablecoin considered a security when it clearly doesn't meet the Howey test criteria? No one has ever had the expectation of profit when buying BUSD. They say that they establish 4 criteria to determine whether an investment contract exists. An investment contract is an investment of money, which is true, in a common enterprise with the expectation of profit to be derived from the efforts of others. Now, if they really do go after BUSD as a security, which it sounds like they are, that would have a huge ripple effect on crypto, because stablecoin was thought of as a product that was really a currency, not a security, because you use it to buy other things. You put your money into it and then you use it to buy something else. You don't have this expectation of profit. You're not buying BUSD hoping to have it go up to $2 or something like that. You realize that's not going to happen. It's basically just like buying any other currency. Now, if BUSD is registered as security by the courts, it will have profound impacts on how the crypto industry will develop or not develop in the jurisdictions where it is ruled as such. Binance will continue to support BUSD for the foreseeable future. We do foresee users migrating to other stablecoins over time, and we will make product adjustments accordingly. E.g., we will move away from BUSD as the main trading pair. Given the ongoing regulatory uncertainty in certain markets, we will be reviewing other projects in those jurisdictions to ensure our users are insulated from any undue harm. Then someone said, why not go for another issuer? And CZ says, we are exploring others and non-USD based stablecoins. So it seems like the US is really going after crypto and going after them hard. I mean, they're not just laying out the rules of the game, making sure everyone complies with them. They went after Kraken recently, and instead of allowing them to try to fix their terms and conditions, they just banned them from ever using staking again in the US and fined them. And now they're going after stablecoin. This could be a huge revenue driver and a huge area that can grow over the coming years. But now they're pushing other people, they're pushing exchanges to use other currencies. I don't think the U.S. wants some of these massive companies to start using non-U.S. based stablecoins. I mean, one of the reasons the U.S. has such a strong grip on the world and is so dominant is because it is the world's reserve currency. And if they lose that, even if it's something as small as not having USD based stablecoins, that could start them down a bad path. Also, this will force companies out of the U.S. and we're seeing that. The U.S. is not willing to play ball. Now, I do think this will affect a lot of other cryptocurrencies as well. So we should hit on this. The crypto, if you couldn't tell already, that's dying is going to be BUSD. It's a top 7 crypto. They have a market cap of $15 billion, $16 billion. And this will probably affect USDC now too, because apparently Circle in USDC is going to be the next SEC stablecoin target to receive a Wells notice. Circle will get sued, as will every other stablecoin of consequence, according to sources. And PayPal recently abandoned their stablecoin project. So there are a lot of companies that are going to be under attack here. Now, if stablecoins are getting attacked, if exchanges are getting attacked, it's just going to, again, force a lot of people out of crypto in the US. And the fact is, too, if stablecoins are security, you better believe a lot of the other top 10, top 100 cryptos are going to be considered securities. Ethereum might be. I mean, that they were considered a not a security years ago, but I would assume that if you can stake for interest, and if it's, it is used for gas, but the fact is, if a small number of people control the contract, and if they consider stablecoin a security, and it doesn't even move in price, the fact is, I would assume Ethereum would be considered a security as well. I think really the safest thing that you can put your money into in crypto, if you're worried about regulation, is Bitcoin. I don't think Bitcoin will be labeled a security. And as time goes on, a lot of the other ones might. Now, I don't think that's the end of crypto. I don't think it's the end of all other altcoins. I think they'll get beaten down, especially if this narrative continues to play out. Bitcoin dominance will go up. This is pretty normal in a bear market, and there's always a reason for it. There's always a reason that price goes down in bear markets. There's always a reason that dominance goes up, and this could be our reason this bear market. Now, if we go back to a bull market, I still think these will pump. I still think they'll do well, and I still think a lot of the good projects will make it through this. Keep that in mind. But this will hurt some of these projects, I think, in the short term, and that's what we've seen for Ethereum over the last 24 hours. It's down 3.2%. Now, you might be asking why the US is doing this and why the SEC is doing this, and they say it's to protect investors. Now, maybe that's the case, or maybe it's because they're getting some heat because so many investors were screwed over because they didn't actually pay attention to what these crypto companies were doing, and now they're overshooting. Maybe it's because they want to set up their own CBDC. The UAE central bank is now announcing their own launch of a CBDC for domestic cross-border payments. You have to realize the countries are really who benefits from this. They benefit because they have a currency that you're going to use, that they can view every single payment, every single inflow. They can go after you, and they have a lot of data on you if you start using their CBDCs. So we have to be careful with this. So what can you do to keep your wealth safe and to be on the right side of this movement? Well, you could buy Bitcoin. Bitcoin is the largest portion of my crypto bag. And the great thing about it is there's no local or international governing authority for Bitcoin. Bitcoin technology has various security features keeping unauthorized users out of your digital wallet. So it's actually tamper-proof. It's seizure resistant. You want to put it on something like a cold storage wallet. I've links to this underneath the video to Trezor. That's what I use. And I think they are one of the best companies to do this. But that way you can keep your crypto outside of these really regulated exchanges and make sure that you're putting it somewhere where the government can't reach it. Now, I still think that there's a use for exchanges, but it should be used as an exchange, basically like a public bathroom. You get in, you do your business, you get out. You don't keep your crypto on exchanges for too long. Now, I do think this will hurt Binance a bit, but I think Binance is still the dominant exchange. I think this does hurt cryptocurrencies a bit, but a lot of them will get through it, the good quality projects. But it's just another reminder, if you're going to be playing in the altcoin market, make sure that you take profits and move them to some of the stronger cryptocurrencies. You don't want to be going and YOLOing your money on small cryptos for the long term. Like maybe you can make a pump and then move it into something a little bit more secure. But as time goes on, the weaker projects will be weeded out by processes like this, like the SEC going after them. So keep that in mind. I think there's always a time and place for some kind of trading or risky trading, but the majority of your crypto should be safe and stored somewhere safe. Let me know your thoughts on this underneath the video though. Are you worried about this? Are you worried about future regulation, or do you realize that this is just something that's going to happen as time goes on? Hopefully the SEC and the US government slows down a little bit and really thinks through what they're going to do, because they could be losing a lot of revenue. They could be losing a lot of innovation. Let me know your thoughts underneath the video. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.